I also saw, like, even in the philanthropic foundation space, what you see is organizations like Sisters in Business and other organizations who have been doing this type of work for a long time, in a sense, kind of getting sideswiped because more of your other organizations who are doing this work, who may have a bigger platform, are able to now say, this is my priority. And because this is now has shifted my priority, I have the means, the capacity, and the people to show performatively that this is my priority. They now are seen as the main champions, main voices of this work. And so, because I've talked to other people who also have organizations like Sisters in Business, and we're like, well, welcome to the party. We've been talking, thank you for finally hearing us. We've been talking about this type of work. So there's, to me, like a catch-22 that's happening. I'm grateful for the awareness that is beginning to happen within the work. But also it's also the questioning of, now who are you, right? We're like, well, we've been here, but when you are a smaller organization, when you're running this with 2 or 3 people, and you have a bigger organization who has a staff behind this, who now says diversity, equity, inclusion, especially around Black and Brown entrepreneurship, is my focus. You may be able to put a grant application in way faster than I can. You may have some other resources that I don't have. So it's been interesting to kind of see that shift happening too, and or having funders who have invited us to apply for grants and ask us what are the barriers, and we're explaining to them, but their processes are still very much so difficult. I remember we had a funder who told us, because we created a new program because of COVID, as a response to COVID and the funding that was being released, we saw that a lot of Black and Brown businesses weren't able to access their dollars that were coming out, because either they didn't have the paperwork or just different things. And so we said, there's a gap. We can fill this gap by creating a program, which was called the Black Entrepreneurship Training Academy, that we did in partnership with an organization called Black Wall Street Kalamazoo. And when we began to put it together, we said, we have to create a program that helps people get the fundamental pieces in place while we also work on the systemic issues, so we can pull down some of these resources as well. And I remember when we were going through funders, talking to funders, one of the main things that a lot of funders would say to us, well, who's already funding you? If you don't have a funder yet, we don't want to be the first in. And so to me, it comes back down to a trust issue. Do you trust that we can do the work, even though we've been doing the work? But this is also systemic, right? I see this happening in the world of fundraising all the time.